Yeah, Springboks with a disappointing outing at Ellis Park. Dean, yeah, man, I'm very disappointed in the boys. I think a lot of people are disappointed, and yeah, we just want to get into the match, get into the analysis, see where it went wrong. 13-12 at halftime. The game ended 33-16 to the All Blacks, coming there to Ellis Park at altitude and beating us in the second half. Let's get into the analysis. Dean, man, how are you, brother?
I grind because I gotta get paid. 1% chance, 99% faith.
Yo, bro. I think the Springboks need a new sponsor, bro. I think it need to be sponsored by Butro. You know what Butro is, bro? Or maybe
What's
margarine.
that?
Maybe margarine. They need to be sponsored by margarine. Because I saw a lot of butterfingers out there on Saturday. A lot of butterfingers. Very, very frustrating game. Very frustrating game. Um, the score line flatters the All Blacks 100%. The game was much tighter than that. In fact, I think we actually dominated the game. But yeah, very frustrating.
100%, man. Let me read you out some of the stats before we get into the new sponsors. So 61% territory to Springboks versus 39% to the All Blacks. 61%. So we're in there 22, we're in their half most of the match. We obviously then scored 5 tries to 1. I think the scoreboard doesn't necessarily show that in terms of us because we had 16 points from 1 try. And also New Zealand had more possession. But they also had, I think it was about 15 turnovers to 9. And yeah, but I think that was also the disappointing part for me, not being able to hold on to the ball in those attacking areas. But yeah, man, let's get into the game. So yeah, the game started off, it was quite tight in the beginning. I couldn't really tell who was leading or who was dominating. I think the boys were nervous. New Zealand obviously have been playing a few matches against our club teams, so they were a bit comfortable. They played this. The last time we played was against Argentina, and that was tight. And then I think we opened the scoring through Esterhuizen, was it? If not New Zealand, and I think that got the crowd going. But I think that was the last time that the crowd celebrated anything. What did you think about the first half there?
First half was quite tight. Very, very even first half. I think both teams showed up. We dominated, I think, the last half of the first half. Let me say that. New Zealand came out the block super quick. They were looking slick with their handling. I think, look, I think New Zealand approached the occasion much better than us.
Yeah.
They look much calmer. They look much more in sync. We look nervous. We look out of sync. And I think this is maybe where it comes into play, where we were talking in our previous episode about, is it a bad thing that the Springboks are not playing for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks while New Zealand are playing all these club teams? Is that a bad thing? We spoke about it in our last rugby episode, and I think in hindsight we can say maybe it was a bad thing because we looked like we didn't have any rhythm. We had no synergy in our team. Whereas New Zealand you could see they were in sync, and like you said, they've been playing the club game, so they've been training, they've been playing. They had that cohesion that we didn't have. On top of that, maybe it's also because in the games we did play in the Nations League, Rassie kept switching it up, so we never actually settled back to back games on combinations like fly off, scrum off, lock. We were switching up everything in those games, obviously testing the combination. So I think all of those factors came into play, and we saw it in the first half where they looked much more cohesive, they looked much more ready, whereas we looked a bit rusty. But overall, the first half was very even.
Yeah, man, the Gents were looking very nervous there, very, very nervy. I was also surprised that Justin Colby was on kicking duties with Sasha at number 10. Let's just go back to start of the match, the lineup. Were you happy with the lineup? I was obviously surprised not to see Sia there. I know he was a bit injured with the hamstring injury in the past few weeks. But I thought he had recovered early on in the week. Rassi Rasmus said he's been training with the team as well as Ox. Ox obviously started. He had a good match. And then obviously the big contentious position, number 10, Sasha. We saw how rusty he looked against Argentina, and that was a friendly. And obviously, then me and you, we both put out a predicted lineup saying that Manili Bok is the predicted, or we wanted him to start at number 10. The rest of the team, I think it was, obviously Damian Thundertest. He was always going to start. What did you think about the lineup going into the match for us?
But I think it was a super strong lineup, power lineup. Probably our strongest team, in my opinion. The one surprise, like you mentioned for me, was Sasha. I didn't think Sasha would start purely because of match fitness. The match against Argentina was his
Yeah,
first game in, I think, 3 months or something like that. And we saw how rusty he was. We spoke about it. We saw how rusty he was. So, look, I don't want to judge because obviously Rusty sees them in training, so he knows more than us whether they're fit or not. But like, we all saw how rusty Sasha was in the Argentina game. It's his first game in 3 months. They throw him in at Ellis Park, first game of the greatest rivalry ever. To me, I didn't see that coming, first of all. And
yeah,
I mean, we saw the result. He didn't have a great game. I've never seen Sasha. He, for one, out of all the players, I would least expect to knock the ball on. He knocked the ball on a couple of times. His kicking was
yeah.
unreliable. He just looked like he wasn't ready. And unfortunately, I think Rashid missed. I think he got that call wrong, in my opinion. I think he threw him in the deep end. It was too soon for him. That's my opinion.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Look, Marley Bok obviously stayed when the team went over to Argentina, and I would have assumed that would obviously give him time to prepare and practice with the team that was here. The likes of Peter Steph, Marks was here, the rest of the players. So I thought they were preparing for specifically this test match, and then obviously Rassi goes in and picks similar lineup to what he picked in the Wellington test when he went with Sasha there. And then obviously Sasha unfortunately got that concussion, or it was a HIA that match. And then Yebo came in, and that's when we obviously started winning that match. Not to say that obviously Sasha is a bad player or anything. But yeah, man, I totally agree. I thought Libok, I think, would have opened the game much better if he started with it. And like you said, Sasha was dropping a lot of balls. Yeah, I was also surprised, man. Even second half as well. Even after the halftime talks, he was still dropping so many balls. And another selection as well, PDV at number 6. He had a decent match, but honestly, I thought we were missing the leadership of Sia Kolis in terms of the decision making, the scrums. I think we were over scrumming in the 22. Maybe we could have went for the 3. And also at the breakdown, I think they were challenging us a lot at the breakdown. New Zealand with the slightly dirty tactics. Kobus Reina was knocking on the ball a lot there. So do you think Sia could have helped at the breakdown and the decision making as well?
I don't know about the breakdown because PDV is very good at the breakdown. So I don't think we lost anything there. Definitely in terms of leadership. One, like I said, we started the game a bit slower. New Zealand came out the blocks faster. I think maybe we must see our leadership there. Like we said, the boys looked a bit nervous. So maybe we
Yeah.
must the leadership there. But then also in terms of the decision making, like you said, um, turning down 3 points multiple times. And there's actually something that I feel like we missed in the second half where that period in the second half where we had, I think it was 4 or 5 scrums by their 5 meter line, right?
Mhm.
Where they considered 2 scrum penalties in a row. Then they considered, I'm not sure, I think it was a ruck penalty. Good leadership in that situation goes to the ref and says, ref, 3 penalties in a row by the 5 meter line. What's going on? And then, because usually when you rack up that many penalties so close to your try line, eventually the ref gives you a warning, a team warning maybe, and then eventually it will end in someone getting a yellow card. Sometimes you even see for multiple scrum penalties, you'll see the ref give a penalty try. But not once during that period when we were on top of them and they were conceding back to back to back penalties. Did any one of our players go to the ref and ask the ref, they conceding numerous penalties in a row. What's happening? Like, no one did that. We didn't put pressure on the
Yeah.
ref in that situation. Like, we should have pressured the ref in that situation to tell him, look, they're conceding multiple penalties, team warning, something. Because at the end they conceded about 4 penalties back to back.
Yeah.
We left with nothing. Eventually they got the ball back. So I definitely think we did miss his leadership on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Obviously, the New Zealand pundits and fans, even there's a lot of New Zealand fans here in Cape Town where I'm at. Obviously, the Cape Malays and everybody, it's a lot of New Zealand
They
fans,
say
man. They
the
go crazy.
Malay Maoris.
The Malay, I'll see them next week since the test is coming to Cape Town.
I
It's
see you
gonna be
also
packed.
mad, bro. You also mad at the team. Yeah. You got the shot on your shoulder. Either
Yeah,
wear the
I'll say,
shirt or don't. What's going on?
I said, let me not wear it straight, Baba. I'll start wearing it next week when we
Bro's
meet.
got the cardigan on, bro. It's like you just came from a coffee date. What's going on? Is it cold in Cape Town, bro? What's happening?
It's cold in Cape Town. You're lucky I don't even have those gloves. I have the gloves with
Please,
the cocaine.
no, we spoke about those gloves. We respect our viewers. That's crazy. Time the weather this side is nice, so it was like proper summer this weekend.
Yeah, you told me you could have went to go watch out the match out, but obviously we were doing a live stream on TikTok. A flop live stream viewing.
Yeah. But guys, do look out for that. We're gonna be live streaming the games. We're gonna be doing watch-alongs basically. So me and Pro will hop on a live. We'll discuss the game while it's live. Join the discussion. We're gonna do that on TikTok. We did the first one this weekend. Pro did it by himself. Flopped us.
Yeah, relax. I got
Nah,
us
I'm
like
joking.
20 followers, bro, just from my live.
I'm still mad, bro, because I wanted to go. The weather was great. I wanted to go watch the game at a nice fan park. He said, "Nah, we need
Uh-huh.
to live stream just for you to live stream by yourself."
Yeah, but I ended up helping people because people were asking for it's like the streaming site to stream the match because obviously a lot
Bro,
of people don't have the full DSTV.
we already lost our IG account for copyright. Now you're giving out illegal streaming sites on TikTok to our fans, bro.
Hey man, hey, I'm just doing the Lord's work, bro. But yeah, man. Yeah, back to the game. So I see a lot of people are calling us out for things like steroids, and a lot of our players are calling us the juice box. So someone's saying the syringe box. Just are calling us syringe box, bro. So yeah, man. I think a lot of New Zealand fans obviously excited after that win, and yeah, but I think there was also a lot of disruptions in the match. Beginning of the match, obviously, one of your favorite players, Katri Aransa, goes out with the HIA, then that brings in Andre, the Giant. But I think he did well. Obviously, he got that try, and like you were saying to me on text that the 6-2 split is obviously also now starting to give us problems because he was supposed to come on as a flank later in the match, but he has to come on early now because of injury to Kirtley, and then later on in the match as well, our other wing, Justin Colby, the kicker, also goes out with an injury, and then obviously the two yellow cards later on in the match. Yeah, talk to me about the disruptions and how the substitutes affected our game. Do you think we need to switch it up, maybe go back to a standard 5-3?
Look, we've watched New Zealand, South Africa versus each other many times, right?
Mhm.
And the 6-2 split is always tricky against a team like New Zealand because the games are so physical. The games
Right.
I can't remember the last New Zealand Springbok game I watched where not one player went off injured. I legit, it always happens. Like the games are so physical, they're intense, they're fast. So it's very risky, but we know it's risky. We always run that risk when we play the 6-2. Unfortunately, it came to bite us now this weekend where both our wingers got injured. So I think it's something that we definitely have to consider going to the next game because I think that disruption in the backline also contributed to the no cohesion that we had on attack. Because of that, I don't think that's the main reason, but it definitely contributed to that 100%. So I think that's something Rassi needs to maybe consider. Do we still run that risk of the 6-2 in the next game, or should we maybe go for a 5-3 split? I personally want us to. I want to see a 5-3 because I know New Zealand are going to play the way they always play. They're not going to change. It's going to be a fast. It's going to be an intense game. It's always good against a team like New Zealand to have extra backline players on the bench, like because of the way they play. So I personally would like to see us go to a 5-3 split, but I don't know. We'll see. But I definitely think he has to consider it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. We'll speak about the picks that we want to see for next week for the Cape Town test. Let us know also in the comments, who would you like to see playing in the next match? Do you think Racing needs to do a big switch up again? I think we always find ourselves in this position against the All Blacks. Last year in the Nations Championship, we went to Eden Park, tried to break their streak, and then, obviously we lost. I think we're playing with Villaroo in that match, etc. Andre, then people were calling for the switch
You're
and
giving me
switch.
trauma, bro. You're giving me trauma. When I saw Willie on that lineup, I was so pissed off. I was so
I
pissed
remember.
off. And then we saw what happened in the game.
I remember.
Yo.
Yeah, I think it was early on in that match. He slipped and then the guy scored. I think the match was gone after that.
Bro, but what we've seen is whenever we have a loss like this, right?
Mhm.
Rassi he learns from the losses, 100%. Whenever we have a loss like this, the next game, we always see a completely different lineup. The last time we lost, the next game for the first time, we saw the Willemse and Moody center combination.
Mhm.
Nobody expected that. Nobody expected that. So I
Facts.
definitely think Rassi is going to cover something different. If the history is something to go by, whenever we have losses like this, Rassi doesn't keep things the same. He does not. So I think he's going to change it up. It's interesting to see what he's going to go with, but I definitely would like to see some changes, especially in our backline, just to help with our attacking third. But let's see.
No. Same. We'll speak about that now towards the end. Mind you, not too much there on Veli Leroux. He's our strand on. Mind you, this guy's from Strand. Is he smacking Veli Leroux here?
Stands on, but when it's time to hang up the boots, it's time to hang up the boots now, eh? It's like me with
Man's
the
talking.
clubs.
Man's talking.
I'm feeling it now. When I go to the club, I feel a bit tired. So I know maybe it's time to hang up the boots now. That's why this weekend I stayed at home.
Man's talking a lot here. But what position did you used to play? Man's acting like he
Fullback
was a
and fly
baller.
off, my brother. Fullback and fly off.
I will see. We'll see. We'll try to drop the clips. I saw you were sending me some archives out there. You like, you have this book.
I'll pull out a video now of me, bro. My highlight reel is insane.
I I know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll drop it there so you guys can see for yourselves. But yeah, man, definitely agree in terms of the first half, super tight, even by the scoreboard, 13-12 to the box. And obviously, Chester Kobe was kicking, so he was doing well. I don't think he missed in the match any of the kicks. Rossi came out and said he's one of the most reliable kickers right now for the team, hence why he's kicking. And Sasha's like, I was super surprised at that. But yeah, man, as long as he kicked most of them over, he was even kicking from from the line, from the touch line. I'm like, hey, this guy's is cooking. And yeah, man, I think I wish we took more points in the 22, just maybe kicking over. Maybe we got a bit too confident there, too cocky. And yeah, man, then the second half started, yeah, and it turned super fast. I think that was that Fabian Holland charged down, and then he's obviously then scored the try from Grant Williams. People are saying he's coming to the rucks very slow. He's not a test match scrum off. What did you think about his performance when he got on? And obviously, yeah, Kobus Reinach as well. He obviously got the yellow card later on.
Grant didn't have a good game. It's okay to say that he didn't have a good game, but that's BS.
Yeah.
Saying he's not a test player, that's nonsense, bro. We've seen Grant play in the biggest games. We've seen him in the World Cup final. To say he's not a test player is nonsense. He had a bad game, yes, 100%, but come on. One bad game doesn't wipe away all the other good games he's had for the Springboks.
Okay, they say he's not a test match starter, so he must come off from the bench as an impact player. Kwagga Smith type vibes.
I hear that because he's very good off the bench, especially with his speed. I do get that, but I don't know. I think he's good enough to start. I think whether he's better off the bench, I don't know. Maybe he's better off the bench, but he's good enough to start. He's started in key games for us before. I personally think he's our best scrum off. So why wouldn't you want to start with him? And as we mentioned, the way the All Blacks play, the attacking rugby that they play, you need a 9 like him in the team. Because on defense, people don't realize, on defense, he covers a lot of ground for us. Just watching, like if you watch Grant in the game, he's very good on defense, covers a lot of holes for us. So
Yeah.
I think he suits playing a team like New Zealand. So I'm not buying it. I won't lie.
I think he was better off on the wing than when he was at scrum off. I'm like, maybe this guy should be playing wing. What's going on here?
So you think Reinach is better for us to start and then Grant off the bench?
Yeah. I think it's similar to the what's this, the fly half conversation where maybe you start off with the more experienced guy, maybe at fly half, and then you start off with the less experienced guy at fly half, and then you come in second half if we lose it. For example, you come in with a Pollard, and then for scrum off, maybe it's a similar thing where you start off with the slower, more structured guy like Reina, and then once the legs get tired and the ruck speed is much slower, then you have Grant there for the speed. But yeah, man, I think they it's either or for me because also Kobus Reina is getting there with the age as well. We saw him also giving, he gave away the deliberate knock on after the other deliberate knock on. Yeah, the match was just going bad at that point. But yeah, man, we can talk about so many things in the match, the high balls, so many knock-ons, but also let's speak about New Zealand a little bit. Star players for me, obviously, Will Jordan, big bowler, 2 tries. People are saying before the match, they're comparing who's the best winger, Justin Kobe or Will Jordan. I have to say he showed off at Ellis Park. It's quite easy tries, but he ended up scoring. Adi Savia had a lot of turnovers. Cam Roygaard was kicking well from the ruts, left foot, right foot. He was quite good as well, and obviously Fabian Holland as well. And yeah, man. So what did you think about New Zealand's performance apart from the Springboks lackluster hands and decision making?
Look, I think we saw New Zealand didn't surprise me. New Zealand played the way New Zealand played. You give New Zealand chances, 9 out of 10 times, they will take those chances. New Zealand have always been, even when they out of form, when they're not being at their peak, one thing about New Zealand, they've always been a clinical team.
Yeah.
They are a very clinical team. So what we saw from New Zealand is what I expected, They took their chances. They were ruthless. When they had the opportunity on attack, they went wide early, opposite to us. They went wide early. They trusted their backline and loose play. What we saw is what I expected. I think we dominated them in the forward areas. Scrums, I think we dominated them. On the gain line, we dominated them. Visa was gaining meters upon meters on meters every carry. I think we actually dominated. So the game actually went the way I expected it to go, where we dominated the forward game and New Zealand were excellent in terms of their attacking play. So no surprise, I think. But then you have to give them credit. As much as we say this is what they do and they do this all the time, I don't know how they're just so clinical. You give them the smallest chance and they'll take it. I mean, you have to give them credit, and for their bravery. Like, they're playing at Ellis Park, altitude, away from home. They weren't conservative at all. They played their brand of rugby. So I mean, shout out to New Zealand, man.
Shout out to New Zealand. It's a team that can break out from anywhere on the pitch. They love playing from their own half, because that's where they can show off their hands, take you to the dance floor. And they had a lot of turnovers in their 22. I was super disappointed with the boys. How can you be giving the ball away in their 22 so many times? Like, you're making them look good as well. But yeah, man, you have to give credit to New Zealand coming through to Joburg. It's difficult playing in SA in SA, and obviously winning a test series. But we still got 3 matches to go. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, man, I was also happy with some of the players' performances from the box. Jasper Wiese, like you mentioned, Damien Willemson, man, ish, with the steps, bro. You can never tackle that man. The first guy can never tackle you. And yeah, man, what did you think about some refresh? What did you think about the 2 yellow cards at the 70th minute? I think there was a coach killer. There was the dagger inside the box's heart. After that, obviously, we all knew that the match is finished.
Yeah, look, I think the yellow cards were the correct decision, both of them. I don't like the way the ref handled the game, to be honest. I think some of the way he handled the game was iffy. Like I said, that period where we were dominating, didn't give them a team warning. There was one TMO call where the TMO called it back for them, a tackle on Visa off the ball. The referee said no, he doesn't see it that way. Overruled the TMO.
He's going for a ruck.
He had some iffy calls, but he's not the reason we lost at the end of the day. So he didn't have a great game, the ref, but the yellow cards, I think, were the right decision.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, man. They just dominated us. Whenever they got a 5 meter scrum from our line, it's like you just knew that it's a try, whichever side that they go to. So you have to give New Zealand
the game. I think it's quite simple. Like, the game was lost and won in the 22. New Zealand won the game because they were lethal in our 22, and we lost the game because we were, I don't even know what word to use, sloppy in their 22.
Yeah,
that as simple as that. Between the 22s, we were actually the better team in terms of overall play, territory, set piece. We're dominating them in the scrums. But where it mattered in the 22s, it's almost like in football. You can have 2 football teams playing each other, 2 soccer teams playing each other. One team like let me just say Man City dominates the ball their whole game. But then the other team converts their one chance they get in the box and they win the game. That's how it was. I think we dominated between the 22s, but then in the 22s, that's where we won and that's where the game was won and lost. I think there were three key moments actually. In the first half, the end of the first half, we had a long phase of attacking play in their 22. We come away with 0 points. If we convert in that period, we go into the halftime leading by 8 points. 8 points. Or even if we get 3 points out of there, we go into halftime with a nice, we didn't convert. We then come out in the second half. Okay, second half, we're doing well, we're doing okay. We have a period again in their 22. Start of the second half. So end of the first half and start of the second half. Now we're in their 22 again. Phase after phase after phase. 3 scrum penalties. We come away with nothing. We turn down multiple penalty opportunities. We come away with nothing. What happened immediately after that? New Zealand scored off of Grant Williams' charge down kick. So just by not converting in those 2 occasions, it completely changed the whole game.
Yeah, no. I think Dave Rennie came out actually with the stats saying that Springboks, when they in the 22, they average about 5.9 points every entry in the 22. And in this specific match, we averaged at 0.9 in the 22, and they averaged at 3.9 in terms of their entries to the 22. So that I think that basically summed up the match. And obviously the handling errors, yeah, man, I don't know how you can actually fix that. The ball wasn't slippery. I don't see New Zealand dropping any balls. Yeah.
I think we'll never be as good as New Zealand in terms of 22 conversions. They're the best in the world. They've always been the best at that. But if you just look at the way we play when we in the 22 versus them, right? I'll take us when we had those 3 scrums. Scrum, we get a penalty advantage, right? We then do the phase play, forward, pick up forward, pick up forward, pick up forward, pod play, pod play, pod play. We didn't go wide once. Eventually, we knocked it on. We had the advantage. We go back for another scrum. We do the same thing. Right? New Zealand, when they are in our 22, they'll do maybe 1-2 forward pickups or 1-2 forward pods, and then they go wide immediately. And then they scored both times. Both times when they went wide, they scored. So I would like to see us trust our backline a bit more, especially when we're there by the 5-meter line. I know the way we play is on forward dominance, right? But when you get to the 22, you get to the 5-meter line, we have killers in our backline. We have Cheslin Colby, Curtly Aaron. So these guys are killers on the wing. Let's trust them more. Let's trust them earlier. Play the ball wide, especially when we have a penalty advantage. I don't understand. That's one thing I'll never understand. When we have the penalty advantage, why not go wide earlier? If we lose it, we lose it. We still have the advantage. So that's one thing I really would like to see us do more is like when we have that advantage or earlier, let's go wide. Let's get the ball wide and try to convert that way. Like it's so frustrating, man.
Yeah, and also even when they do give it to the back line, I saw we in the 22, we'll do the pod, obviously applying pressure, gain line. And then you'll give it out wide to Sasha. And then I don't know if sometimes he has a look or two and he's like, he sees their lane, he's like, nah. And then he just runs it. And he just runs it. And then obviously he goes into contact. Because also Sasha is a big guy. So for number 10. So he loves sometimes taking the contact. He'll do a lot of dummies and take the contact. Even Lipoka saw he was doing that a lot in the second half. So then that also kills the momentum because now you can't play it back to the back line because they don't have a 10. Obviously, the playmaker because he's now in the ruck. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit frustrating. I think they definitely should play the ball out wide, but maybe also when he does have that look, maybe you'll find out players that are also looking very flat. So a lot of times, maybe the moves you can see that they're not going to come off as well as they think they are going to. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely love to see us play the back line more. It reminds me of the Wellington match because if we can get back to that lineup, let's be honest, we want to see a much younger setup coming out in terms of the back line. The forwards, I don't think there's much you can change. Just in terms of besides the style of play, I'd love to see our forwards, offloading more, playing more similar to what New Zealand play. But that's obviously a challenge for our team, and they prefer just going physical and tiring the team out. But clearly, New Zealand wasn't getting tired. Altitude wasn't doing anything to them. In fact, we were looking a bit lackluster. So yeah, man, it's quite tough. We'll speak about the team that you want to see next week, but just about the spectacle, Ellis Park. I saw the airplanes were coming through at the top. I don't know. I think they have a new sponsor now. It's not anymore FlySafe Air. Yeah, it looked like a beautiful outing, man. In Ellis Park, the crowd was packed. It's obviously such a standout stadium going back to 1995, and the haka as well. Rassi Asoipi, before the match, he asked the crowd if they could just keep quiet for the haka, and everybody was silent. I think it's probably the first time that it's been so silent for the haka.
Yeah, no. Shout out to the fans. The fans definitely showed up. They did their part. They played their role. It looked like an amazing occasion. I mean, that's why we love rugby. You could see how much South Africans love rugby just by that occasion. Like, stadium was packed. Everyone was screaming. The entire game, people were screaming. They were shouting. They were on their feet. I think the fans. Shout out to everyone that went to the stadium, man. They did their job.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. And yeah, man. So next week it's Box in Cape Town. That's low key. Now I'm even a bit more nervous because now it's almost like the New Zealand are playing at their home ground because there's more All Blacks fans in Cape Town than there's Bok fan. If you just watch out for the crowd, you're gonna see so much black shirts. Like Dean's hoodie right now. Man's rocking black here after we lost. I hate this guy. Yeah.
I'm jumping ship. I'm jumping ship, bro. I'm going to the attacking. Hey.
Yeah, no, yeah, man. Next week, Cape Town. Yeah, we had a good, some good performances. Obviously, Jason Kobe was showing off in the middle, a couple of steps here and there, and the kicking as well. Willemse, Jasper, like I said, they also did pretty well in the second half. Like I said, Will Jordan was having a good match. Josh Low, yeah, Fabian Holland.
Shout out
I
Ruben
think Jacobson.
Love as well. Shout out Ruben Love as well.
Ruben Love as well, yeah, for sure.
Everyone is talking about Sasha. Ruben Love similar age to Sasha, and they came up against each other. I think Ruben Love had a much better game than Sasha. Ruben Love also on the boot. Yo, I don't think he missed a kick as well, eh?
I think he missed was it him who got the 50-22? Someone got a 50-22, a nice one.
No, it was Tupia. It was Tupia.
Quinn Tupai, yeah. I think that's also challenging because now if you have the 13 kicking, we're obviously expecting him to run, but now he's kicking. Now you're relaxing a bit.
No, 100%. But yeah, I just wanted to make that comment. Shout out to Ruben Love. I think he also had a very good game.
Dean top 10 most humble moments. You doing this so doing this so we can
I just like the guy because he has aura on IG.
Yeah, so you sent me his account, and this guy's glazing, bro. Like, come on.
Okay, not too much.
I'm finished. Yeah, man. But yeah, for next week, yeah, who would you love to see in that lineup? Let's give our picks and then we can end the episode. It's in Cape Town. I think it's gonna be such a vibe. I'll see if I'll go to a fan park or something. Who do you want to see in that match?
I think the forwards did well. So similar forward pack. I wouldn't want to see too many changes in our forward pack. The front three did very well with dominating them in the scrum. So forward, I would go similar. I actually wouldn't make any changes to the forward pack.
Okay.
I think in terms of if Sia's fit, then of course bring Sia in. I would love to see Hanacom be put on the bench. I think you can contribute to the game in the end of the game, especially that loose play. He's someone who can get over the line when we're there by the 5 meter. We've seen him do it many times. So maybe I would love for him to come onto the bench. But forwards, not too many changes. In terms of backline, I'm 50-50 with the 9 situation. I really don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
I think because of the pressure that's going into the next game, because it's a must-win for us, I would start Reinach. I would go with our most experienced guys. Start Reinach in that game. I would start Liebok as well. I don't think Sasha's match fit. Start Liebok. And then it's a tricky one because I don't know if I'm
stop capping. I know who you want in the midfield. I know who you want.
Who do I want?
You don't want the Matalas, bro. You want Willemse there.
Okay, fine. You know what? Let me be honest. I would love to see a new midfield. I would love to see Andre Estes and I would love to see Kane and Moody.
Okay.
I would love to see an attacking backline. Unfortunately, I wouldn't play Willemse top because I don't think Fuss is in form. We don't have another 15 option right now, so I have to keep Willemse at 15. The wingers, if Arnsa and Colby are fit, keep them. But yeah, man, I would love to see maybe some new people in the center, and then I want to see Liverpool start. In conclusion,
Okay. That's a bold pick in the backline. Andre Estes, and obviously I think they've been training him to be that utility sub. So that would obviously then change the split on the bench. I don't know which player, because Kwacha's obviously gone now. For now with
and
the
I'd like
injury, I
to
don't
see
know
a
which.
6. I'd like to see a 5-3 split. By the way, I'd like to see a 5-3
Okay.
split. Bring an extra backline player into the bench, whether it's Hooker. I don't know who you want to bring, but I think the way the All Blacks play, I think we need that.
Okay. Yeah, no, guys, look, let us know in the comments, who do you guys want to see? Would you love to see for that test match in Cape Town? It's the second one. If New Zealand win, then we have no chances of winning the series. We can only draw it from there, and it'll be a tough to come back from 2-0. And yeah, man, also, I'll give you guys my picks who I think should be in that match. Let us know down in the comments. And yeah, I mean, I agree with the forwards. Sia Kolisi should definitely be coming back just for that leadership. You could see we're lacking a little bit of leadership in there. And also, just so you guys know, we're not professionals. So the predictions and picks that we have, we're just fans. Dean's ex-rugby player, used to play in high school. I played a little bit. But yeah, man, we're not professionals. We're not experts. We just, some fans, super big fans of rugby and soccer and stuff. So yeah, we're just giving our predictions for the match. And yeah, for me, like I agree with the forward pack. When it comes to the back line, look, they're also playing in Cape Town. So you're thinking about some of the players that do know Cape Town really well. We have an unbeaten streak there since 2021, so we can't lose. I don't think we'll lose. But yeah, number 9, yeah, I'd also have to go Kobus Reinach just to start the match, and then Manny Libok. I know Rassi likes playing the combos, Kobus Reinach, Sasha, Krant, Libok, but I think, at this stage of the game, you kind of sort of have to open up your mind a little bit and stop being, and not be so structured. So Kobus Reinach with Manny Libok for the distribution, and center, hey, yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, maybe Dialendi again, but with Kane and Moody this time for also like for the high balls. I saw we're struggling a little bit with the high balls. New Zealand were gathering quite easily, or it was becoming a scramble. Kane and Moody is obviously another option in terms of high ball, being the physicality as well. So I'd love to see him at 13 for sure. In terms of inside center, maybe Dialendi, or if we go Willemse. Rossi has played Sasha at 15, bro, but it's only like in the second half when they're making changes.
Wait. Let me. I actually want to ask you a question. We're under pressure, right?
Yeah.
We're under pressure. Backs against the wall. We need players who can step up.
Mm-hmm.
Why is no one mentioning the Iceman?
I saw they hit a cameo of him at halftime. It was like, I'm not part of this. I'm not part of this.
Hey, bro, you had aura. You see the way he was standing there. Hey,
I saw
too much aura, bro. But why not? Should I'm just asking the question? Should we consider Pollard, whether it's on the bench or in the lineup?
It's a bit
We
of
know
a
he's reliable. We know he's reliable. We know he can manage a game. Maybe if he was there, we would have managed that game better, especially in the 22. We know he knows how. Like, I don't know. What do you think about Pollard?
You see, now it's like it's a bit difficult because now it's almost like we're using Pollard, like like it's like whenever we need to come out of a deep ditch, yeah, Pollard come back into the mix. So I don't know how he would feel about that in terms of only being brought in when we're in trouble and not when we, playing well or having a good time. So yeah, but it's an option. But I don't know, man. I think we should also just prepare to go with this team.
I don't know.
This is what
I don't know if you saw
Yep.
The Argentina game, the end of the Argentina game. We had Sasha 10, Pollard 12, and it actually worked quite well.
But for a full match, though.
No, you definitely can't do that for a full match. But like I said, usually when we lose like this, Rassie surprises us the next week.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it past him to bring Pollard back into even if it's on the bench, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, I also wouldn't be surprised, but I just think it's a bit shaky when now it seems like you're using Pollard only when we're in trouble. But hey, man, at the end of the day, if he can still play as well as he used to, because sometimes also these days you don't know what you're gonna get with Pollard in terms of even the way he plays at the Bulls, for the final URC, etc. Sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get with him. But yeah, man, maybe second half. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him, but that's also if we also be deciding to kick for poles and stuff, because he's obviously like a good kicker. So there's no use having him there if we're still gonna play the same game plan and not take the points inside the 22. Just my opinion, of course. Yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, and then in the wings, obviously the two Power Rangers, the Scrum boys are ready. Then I'd obviously go with them. But if not, one of them are out, then I'd love to see Ethan Hooker there also for the high balls again. Wellington match, I think he was just a beast in the air, and we seem like we're still playing the air, keeping to the air game plan. So yeah, and then obviously Damien at fullback. But yeah, man, we'll see what Rassie does. He likes surprising us, Ben. And one loss does not define the box. I know we'll be back. He's not shaking. He didn't look like he was quite stressed. And yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, they just signed Tony Brown, our attacking coach. So a lot of people say, the only problem the only bad thing that the All Blacks did was sign our attacking coach after how we played. So I found that funny. But yeah, man. We'll be hosting another live stream next week for the Cape Town test. You can join us on TikTok. That's where we're hosting. We'll be watching the game along with you guys. So come check it out on our social media, The Big Fixture on TikTok. And we're still waiting to get our Instagram back. But we'll let you guys know about that as well. And no comment.
No, guys, we'll get it back, yo. We'll get it back.
No, we'll get it back one way or another. But yeah, man, that's it from us. If you're a rugby fan and a soccer fan, we're going to be doing a Premier League catch up. You can watch that as well on our soccer playlists. And yeah, man, looking forward to the Boks versus All Blacks next week in Cape Town. Boks looking to bounce back. Rassie Erasmus' team is down, but not out. And All Blacks obviously looking to take the test series, and they're playing the Lions on Tuesday. And yeah, I think I'll be watching that match as well. Dean, anything before we go?
I think you covered it. The only thing I will say is I definitely agree. The Springboks have been winning non-stop for the last 5 years. We're not going to stop supporting them after one loss. The boys will be back. I believe in the boys. I think we're going to win the text match. Let's support them. Let's get behind them. Like I said, they've been winning consistently. We can't give up on them after one game. Never. We'll be back next week. They're going to win that game.
Yeah, no, 100%. Next week, I'll have the shirt on. It won't be on my sleeve. I'll have the shirt on. Dean, you better have your shirt on as well. Let's go.
Yeah, take the cardigan off, bro. I feel like we're on a date here.
Hey, this guy, cut. We're gone.
I grind because I gotta get paid. 1% chance, 99% faith.